Hey everyone, welcome back. Our last guest is a Haitian American singer and songwriter who made his first television appearance right here on Open in 2017. And since he's been featured on NBC's The Voice season 15 and made it all the way to being part of the top 24. And now he's back to tell us about his upcoming projects. Please welcome Zaxai.
Rita, it's such a pleasure. Thank you so much for having me.
Oh my gosh, welcome back.
Thank you for having me back.
I mean, it's not in studio like we had to last time. However, I will say I am always thrilled to know that we were that platform that showcased an artist for the first time and or gave them their wings, right?
Oh,
And,
yeah.
and then take off and then boom, all the way to NBC, top 24. Unbelievable. Congratulations.
Thank you so much. I mean, to this day, it's still on my Instagram channel because for me, it was super huge. I don't think I've ever done anything televised. And, you brought me on board. I had a big, bright red jacket on. And I just said, you know what, I'm going to give it my all. And then from there, The Voice and then other televised programs. And so for me, this is home. And it was so cool, too, because I was born and raised in Brooklyn. And to get this, to receive such Bronx love was just epic.
I love it. I love it. Really, it truly warms my heart. And it's lovely to bring you back, especially during this holiday season. We continue to showcase artists. Obviously, we're bringing you aboard, right now, the artists need a lot of love right now. And I'm hoping and trusting that even though we're dealing with these circumstances, you've been inspired to continue creating and producing and writing and just writing the next hit.
That's actually exactly what I've been doing. I mean, at the beginning of COVID, I did feel some type of way. I thought to myself, well, is this a break? Is musicianship going to continue? Many of the venues in New York City closed, but then, we're hustlers. We come out of New York City, we grind, we tough it out. And I said, well, I guess we're going to have to figure something out online. And hence the mic and the guitar in hand. And I figured it out. And I released three singles throughout this duration of COVID. And I plan on releasing a few more. So 4 singles, actually. Oh, wow. But yeah, so it's just been an awesome grind. And it's taught me a lot about myself as a musician, but also as an artist.
So just walk us through a little bit of what your story looks like, as briefly as possible, right? Because we could be here all day and I'm totally interested, but we don't have that time for this particular segment. However, I'm very curious to just hear about like all the hoopla that occurred after appearing on The Voice and how that opened up more doors for you and where you went off to after that and how everything just came to a halt because of the pandemic.
Oh man, as soon as The Voice ended, well, first and foremost, I already knew New York City. Let's try to use that to the best of our ability, So I went to a few countries. I went to Norway, I went to France, and just did like a little cool international gigs, one-offs on my guitar. I did a few concerts at Rockwood, the Blue Note, Glory to God twice. Just a few things. Released an album called Too Far Gone directly after The Voice. And I was scheduled to do a few more in Toronto. I had a big concert planned sometime this past summer, but clearly COVID, so that kind of deterred me just a little bit. But I still plan on doing it somehow, finding the new way to capture people's attention, especially being indie artists without the budget of, say, a label. But after The Voice, it was just, I won't say there was full sailing, but it definitely helped me to gain a bigger platform and just push things.
It was a nice catapult for you. So you
was it
became
ever? Yeah.
quite the little jet setter.
You
So
can say
what
that.
yeah, well, I mean, it sounds to me like, oh, Canada, France, I went here, went there, it's lovely. So what do you consider, aside from, you said something earlier with regards to learning more about yourself, and I understand that the song that you're going to be presenting has Creole in it, right? And so I introduced you as Haitian American, and so what have you done differently now with your music that you weren't paying attention to before?
If anything, the real part of me. I mean, for the sake of this single, I want to say I wanted to dive more into the culture just a little bit. So it's a mix of English and Haitian Creole, but it was actually a South African producer. So it's a fusion of both our cultures into one. But outside of these, I guess, pop singles, just really be honest with the fans and be honest with the people. I don't think I've ever had a chance to do that musically. I've done that on my Instagram. Everybody, like, go live and I just talk about life. But musically, I never had a chance to do that. In this particular record, I wouldn't say I necessarily did that. I explored more of the flirtatious side of me a bit. But essentially, yeah, that'd be the best example of it.
You're so you're like, well, you know,
Yeah,
flirtatious side, you know. I was
it
like,
is because it was so cookie cutter before, and I was talking about sad songs, and I thought to myself, well, nah. If anything, we have too much sadness and sorrow during COVID. Let me kind of explore other sides of me, and let me kind of showcase just a different energy. I think everybody else felt some type of way during COVID, so let's not do that. Let's take our mindset somewhere else.
and so before we go, how do you find that the industry is surviving amid this pandemic on a sales perspective, like especially as an indie artist?
It depends. As indies, we've had to work a lot harder and a lot smarter because, like I said, many of venues like Rockwood Music Hall or other venues have either switched online or just completely went out of business. So for us as indies, it's been a bit difficult, but with platforms like TikTok and Instagram and knowing how to use that, it's helped. But it's been difficult. That I'll say. But if you put in the work, I'm a firm believer. If you put in the work and you put in the research, then all things will eventually fall into line. Have they fall completely in line? No, I wouldn't say so, but it's definitely on its way.
Well, online and into line really is a matter of perspective, right? Because
Exactly. Exactly.
we can talk about the prosperity in finances, or we can talk about the prosperity in self identity. And it sounds to me like you're winning on both sides.
Thank you.
That's what's up. That's what's up. And we're so happy to have you back on the show to present it here in our Open Artist Spotlight.
Oh, I'm honored. I'm so hyped.
So are we. All right, but hang there, all right? Because
You got
we're
it.
going to take a quick break and then we're going to come back to you,
Yes, ma'am.
Zaxai. Woo! All right, you guys, we have to take a quick break, but when we return, Zakai, he's going to perform for us. So don't go anywhere.